Okay, if you are in 7 Excel, we are working from the Advanced 2 textbook. If you are in Math 8, we are working from the Course 3 textbook. We are doing lesson 8.2, volume of cones. And it can be found on pages 342 and 343. Okay, so let's talk about a cone real quick. A cone has one circle base and one vertex. So this is what a cone looks like. It's got one circle base and one vertex. Now, if you liked volume of pyramids, you're going to love volume of cones, because the volume of a cone is equal to 1/3 the area of the base times the height. It's the same exact formula as volume of a pyramid. So the volume is equal to 1/3 the base times the height. Now, what are the things that we need to know? We need to know that the area of a circle is equal to pi r squared. And we need to know that pi is equal to 22/7, or 3.14. So this is the nuts and bolts of today's lesson. So what does all of that mean? Well, let's put it all together. The book has given us a cone that looks like this. Here's the base. They're telling us that we have a diameter of 4 meters and a height of 6 meters. And they want us to find the volume of this cone. Okay? So the first thing I need to do is I need to find the area of the base. The area of this base. Well, the base is a circle. This is our base. And they're giving us a diameter of 4 meters. So we need to find the area of the base. And the area of a circle is pi r squared. So it's substitution. Pi is 3.14. They have not given us the radius, but they have given us the diameter. And I know the radius is equal to half of the diameter. So my radius is 2 meters. So 2, and the order of operation says that we do exponents before we multiply. So I like to put it inside the parentheses just to remind me to do it first. So 3.14, 2 times 2 is 4. I'm going to put this into my handy dandy calculator. 3.14 times 4 is 12.56 meters squared. So this is the area of the base. 12.56. So the area of this base is equal to 12.56 meters squared. Now I can find the volume, because I know the volume is equal to 1/3 don't forget that third, 1/3 the area of the base times the height. So volume is equal to 1/3 the area of the base times the height. And now it's just substitution. So 1/3, my base is 12.56, and my height is 6. So I'm going to use my handy dandy calculator. 2.56 times 6 is 75.36. And now I'm going to divide that by 3, multiply it by 1/3, or divide it by 3. And I can see that my volume is equal to 25.12 meters cubed. So this is very, very similar to volume of a pyramid, except our base is a circle. So that's what we're doing. Let's do another example. Let's do another example. Okay. So this time, the book's going to give us a cone that looks like this. And they're telling me that the radius is 9 feet. How nice that they gave us the radius. But they want to know what the height is. And they're telling us that the volume is equal to 956 feet cubed. So we have the volume, we have the radius, but we don't have the height. That's what we need to figure out. Now, I know that the volume of a cone is equal to the area of the base times the height. So they have not given us the area of the base, but we can find it. We can find the area of the base. And then we can use the volume and the area of the base to find the height. So the first thing I need to do, I need to find the area of my base. So here's my base, and they're telling us, it's very kind of them to give us the radius, that the radius is 9 feet. So we need to find the area of the base, and it's a circle. So the area is equal to pi r squared. Okay, so now it's substitution. 3.14. My radius is 9 feet, and the order of operations says we do exponents before we multiply. So I'm going to put my exponent inside just to remind me to do that first. So the area is equal to 3.14. 9 times 9 is 81. Then I'm going to use my handy dandy calculator. 3.14 times 81 is 254.34 feet squared. So this is the area of the base is equal to 254.34. So my base is equal to 254.34 feet squared. Okay, now I have what I need to substitute. Volume is equal to 1/3 the area of the base times the height. So volume is equal to 1/3 my base times my height. So I have my volume, 956, is equal to 1/3. I have the base, 254.34. and we're looking for my height. So the first thing I'm going to do, I'm going to multiply 1/3 times 254.34, or technically, I'm dividing 254.34 divided by 3. And that's going to be 84.78 times the height. I want to isolate this variable. So I'm going to divide by 84.78, divide by 84.78. And then I get 11.276, number. These guys cancel, equals H. The directions tell me to round my answer to the nearest tenth. So 2 is in the tenths place. I look to the right. 7 is greater than 5, so I'm going to add 1. So 11.3 is equal to my height, 11.3 feet. So the height is 11.3 feet. So in this case, it's the same thing as before. It's still substitution, only this time we're trying to find the variable, the height. Instead of finding the volume, we're finding the height. So it's still substitution. I substituted volume. I had to figure out the area of the base to substitute. And then my variable was the H. So you guys had to do some examples like this with pyramids. We're doing the same thing with cones. Now, last period, somebody had a very good question. What happens if they ask me to find the radius of a cone? How do I do that if they're asking me to find the radius of a cone? So let's do one of those. So this is the cone that they've given me. They're telling me that the height is 6 meters. We need to find the radius. We don't know what the radius is. And the volume is 25.12 meters cubed. So in this case, I know that volume is equal to 1/3 the base times the height. So let's substitute in the pieces that we have. Volume is 25.12, 1/3. Now, this is the base. The base is a circle, and the base is pi r squared, right? And then my height is 6. So when we look at this, pi is not a variable. It has a value. So my only variable now is the radius. So we can figure this out. But the first thing I want to do, I want to get rid of this fraction. This fraction just makes everything hard. So if I multiply this whole side by 3, what I do to one side, I must do to the other. I get 75.36. This fraction and this 3 cancel. Then I've got pi r squared times 6. So all of these guys multiply. Okay. Now let's substitute. 75.36. Pi is 3.14. I still have r squared times 6, 75.36. I'm going to multiply 3.14 times 6, and I get 18.84 r squared. I still want to isolate my variable here. So I'm going to divide by 18.84. What I do to one side, I must do to the other. So 75.36 divided by 18.4 is 4 equals r squared. We want r by itself. We want to get rid of this exponent 2. So I'm going to square root this. What I do to one side, I must do to the other. The square root of 4 is 2 and r. So the radius is equal to 2 meters. Okay? So once you have the formula, it doesn't matter what's missing. It's just a game of substitution. You're going to substitute in the information you know to find that missing variable. Okay? So that is what we are doing today. Does anybody have any questions?